Thanks for joining me. This week, we're going to work on adding figurative language to our writing. Now, figurative language makes your writing more interesting, and you just learned about the first two types of figurative language today, or for a lot of you, it was a review. We talked about similes and metaphors, and we tried to find them in songs and think about what they add to the story or to the song. So today, let's talk about strategies so that you can add them to your own writing. So here are my 3 steps for adding similes and metaphors to your writing. The first step is to find a spot in your writing where you can make a comparison. If you remember from your reading lesson, similes are used to compare two things, and then the same thing with metaphors. You could use it when you're describing someone. You could compare someone to a flower or to an ogre. You can use it when you're describing their personality. So you could compare them to a hummingbird if they zip around all over the place, or you could compare them to a toad if they are quick or slow to make ideas. And you're just like, oh, Thomas was a toad when it came to making ideas. So you could use that. You can, so I'm going to underline that, describing someone. You could use it to show how someone does something and look for verbs. So if you have characters that are sneaking, they might be creeping mice, or they might be creeping like mice, depending if you want to use a verb or a metaphor. If you have somebody who's running, what's something fast? Could they be running like a Lamborghini? Could they be running like a cheetah? You can use it to describe how somebody looks for things, right? If you've got a character who's panicking and digging through trying to find the key to their front door, you might say, Charlene dug through her backpack like a dog digs through a garbage can, right? You might be able to describe the chaos of her just digging through her backpack. So another way is you can describe how someone does something. The third way is to describe the setting, right? You could say the sun was a ball of fire. You could say the field was an ocean of grass. So you could describe the setting. So when I am looking for ways that I can add figurative language to my story, I'm going to be looking for describing, doing, and setting. After you have found a place to do that, your next step will be to think about possible comparisons. What could I compare it to? And then I like to make a list of ideas and think about how each one fits with my story. For the example of the girl digging through her backpack for her key, I feel like maybe I don't like that one anymore because I don't know that I want to compare her to a dog. What else could I compare her to that might dig through something? Hmm. Ooh, I could compare her to a badger digging out a burrow. I could compare her to a kitten pawing at a yarn ball. What else could I compare her to? I can make a list and then pick the one that best fits my story. The third step is deciding if a simile or a metaphor is a better fit. You're going to try them both out. You can write them or say them out loud and decide which one you like better. So for my example about the field, if I was going to say Rachel came to a green field that was an ocean of grass, or I could say Rachel came to a green field that was like an ocean of grass. How strongly do I want to make that comparison? Do I want to make the reader really see an ocean, or do I want them just to see that I'm trying to compare them? I'm going to try them both out and see which one I like. So let's take a look at this example here. I have a little mini paragraph that I've written from another story I'm working on, but it doesn't have any figurative language yet. So I'm going to see if I can add something to make it better. Let me look at what I've already got. Thomas and Kaleem opened the door to the gym. The rec manager must have forgotten to lock up, and they now had the room all to themselves. They walked in, and Kaleem pulled a basketball off the cart. Thomas tossed his jacket off to the side and tightened the laces on his shoes. Kaleem bounced the ball to Thomas. Thomas checked it back to Kaleem. Game on. So I could use it to describe Kaleem or Thomas. I could use a simile or a metaphor. I could use it to describe what they're doing, so I could look for verbs, or I could describe the setting. This paragraph isn't really about the setting, and it's not really introducing the characters. It sounds like this is an action paragraph, so I'm going to look for action that I can use a simile for. I see right here they opened the door to the gym. What else did they do? Ooh, they walked in. Kaleem pulled a basketball off the cart. Thomas tossed his jacket. Kaleem bounced. So there's lots of things I could pick. But as I said it, I was thinking, I wonder how they opened the door. Thomas and Kaleem opened the door to the gym. Okay, that's the part I'm going to work on. Step one, I found a place I want to add figurative language. I found an action part, and I want to compare that to something. So next I'm going to think, what are some things that I could compare it to? I'm going to make like a little thinking bubble for myself. What could I compare it to? They opened the door. Ooh, maybe they could open the door like ninjas. That seems sneaky. I want them to kind of sneak in. They could open the door like ninjas. What else would be sneaky? Ooh, they could open the door like thieves. Maybe they're sneaking. How else could they open the door? Ooh, what if they opened the door like it was the door to a secret room? Ooh, is the door? Ooh, I'm trying to think of like when you have like a pyramid with mummies. Maybe I'll just write secret room. Okay, so now I'm going to think about my options. Thomas and Kaleem open the door to the gym like ninjas. No, I don't really think of them like ninjas. Okay, Thomas and Kaleem open the door to the gym like thieves. Who have misspelled thieves. I don't like that either. I don't want my reader to think they're bad guys. They're not. Thomas and Kaleem open the door to the gym like it was the door to a secret room. Ooh, I like that. I think that's the one I want to go with. Okay, so now I just have to think, do I want to write it with like or as? Or do I want to just write it like that's what it is? Thomas and Kaleem open the door to the gym like the door to a secret room. Kind of like that one. Thomas and Colleen open the door to the gym of a secret room. Oh, that one doesn't work. I think I'm going to use like or as. Let me write that new sentence in. Thomas and Kaleem open the door to the gym. Like the door to a secret room. Yeah, that's better. All right, I found a way to put a simile or a metaphor in this paragraph. All right, let me try it with another paragraph. This is a completely different story. Karina dragged her bare feet through the wet grass. It was late and she was tired, but she still didn't know which direction she should go. She was glad that she had escaped the dragon, but now she had a new worry. What if she never made it home? What if the dragon had carried her so far that she never found home again? Suddenly, she heard the dragon closing in on her. She went into a large bush and hid. She was so scared she was shaking. She hid her face in her hands to keep from crying. Ooh, I already know what sentence I want to add, a similar metaphor. I want to show how she was shaking. Okay, so she's so scared she was shaking. I want to compare her shaking to something that sounds scary. She was shaking like a leaf. Oh, that's not scary. She was shaking, like a Halloween skeleton decoration. That one's scarier. She was shaking like a spider. Ooh, she was shaking like a fly trapped in a spider's web, because I want her to be kind of trapped by the dragon. Okay, so I know I want to show how she's shaking and scared. I'm going to compare her to a fly in a spider's web. Now I've got to decide if a simile works better or a metaphor. She shook like a fly in a spider's web. She was a fly in a spider's web. Ooh, I think I'm just going to make her be the fly. That really shows how trapped she was. So I'm going to undo that whole sentence and rewrite it. She was a shaking fly in a spider's web. Whoa, that sounds better. Suddenly she heard the dragon closing in on her. She went into a large bush and hid. She was a shaking fly in a spider's web. She hid her face in her hands to keep from crying. All right, I used those strategies and I was able to add similes and metaphors to my writing. On the next couple slides, we're going to challenge you to come up with similes or metaphors to show different ideas. And on Wednesday, we're going to start thinking about applying this to our own writing.